Orale, what's good, gente? You already know who it is. It's your boy, OG Gordo, back at it again, ready to drop you guys some good ass content like I've been wanting to. I've been doing a lot of live streams, but now I'm going to start dropping the content again. Okay, this one is about Mr. Yosie Lokote, okay? It's called Meth Murder in Guadalajara. Okay, the hip hop scene in Guadalajara, Mexico has become the soundtrack to the nation's drug war, but the artists making it say that music can offer an escape from the quos, which is true. And that's for a lot of, even in right here in the United States, it is an escape. If you can make it out of the slums by rapping, then shoot, with all due respect, get it. You know what I'm saying? On April 19th last year, the body of the 42-year-old Mexican rapper Mr. Yosie Lokote was dumped in an empty lot in the western city of Guadalajara. A note claiming he had been killed because of a connection to an enemy of the Jalisco New Generation cartel was pinned to his chest with the screwdriver. And I'm gonna probably put that as my thumbnail so you guys can see the picture for those of you who haven't seen it yet. And it's no disrespect to the family or anything. I do want to say nothing but love and respect, and I send my condolences to Mr. Yosie Lokote and his familia. It's just another sad case and another homie lost, basically is all it is again. But let me get back to it. In a separate case 3 days later, so 3 days after Mr. Yosie was executed, basically, the authorities arrested another local hip-hop star, the 24-year-old Christian Palma, known as QBA, who confessed to dissolving the dead bodies of 3 film students in sulfuric acid on the orders of the same organization. Okay, so that just goes to show that, and I also did a video on cartel versus cholos, and I'm not going to get into that video. That way you guys can go back and check it out yourself. Please do me a favor, go back, check it out. It's a very interesting video. I have received a lot of feedback, a lot of different, you'll see. Do me a favor, go check it out. Cartel versus Cholos. Very good video. Both artists were pioneers of rap, thug rap, a style of hip hop the Mexican press has cast as the soundtrack to the country's drug war, with the performers rapping about meth abuse and massacres. The media blames the music itself for perpetrating gangland violence, but defenders of the genre argue that rap provides youngsters from poor urban areas with an attractive alternative to drug recruitment, and which is very true, because anywhere you're at, and if you grow up in the slums and you have that talent where you can rap and get out of it, you're gonna do it. You're gonna get your money. Why stay at that level? And that's anywhere. And what I don't understand is that why the Mexican government looks down on the pandilleros, the gangsters, but not the sicarios, the ones who are out there making the narco corridos and stuff like that. Why don't they say anything about that? You see what I'm saying? So it's, there again, it's a very good point that I'm making here. What is the reasoning for that? Go back and look at my video, Cartel versus Cholos. I'm telling you. Hip hop is blowing up right now. Say Guadalajara rapper Push El Asino, Push the Killer. But problems can follow you when you're rapping about the streets and violence. And that's very true. Ablatos is home to 250,000 people and around a dozen warring gangs. The gunfights and grieving parents multiply each year. People used to scrap with stones. Push, who grew up just outside the neighborhood, told me today everybody has a pistol. And that's so damn true, and that's everywhere, man. And if they ain't got a pistol, they got motherfucking AKs, ARs, it is what it is. At 31, Push is a veteran of Guadalajara's rap scene. He also has collaborated with most of the city's top rappers, including QBA, who appeared on his 2016 single El Vicio and La Calle, The Vice and the Streets. Push also worked with Mr. Yosie Lokote on early tracks such as Dame un Motivo, Give Me a Motive from 2012, and La Calle, en La Pie. So that released 2 years later. And I wish I could put the video up here, but obviously I can't because I don't own the copyrights, and I will get a copyright flag and it'll just mess everything up for me. So Push stressed that the relationships with both rappers was purely artistic, and he had no street gang or cartel affiliations. Mr. Yosie Lokote was a known member of Florencia 13, an offshoot of the Los Angeles gang of the same name. Florencia 13 is the largest of the gang of the first generation clicas that emerged in the 1990s when Mexican deportees returned from the United States, bringing the gang culture with them. These groups corresponded closely to their Mexican-American counterparts, said Miguel, the general coordinator of the academic study Puro Loco de Guanajuatos. Violence and generalization change in the corner groups in Guadalajara. We see identical tattoos and graffiti. They also have a similar organization with military ranks like generals and soldiers. And it's basically like MS-13. They basically came here as immigrants fleeing from their country, and when they got deported back, they started up their gang shit over there. Same thing with Barrio 18th Street, I guess, pretty much. Same shit. Florencia 13 allies with the Sureños, a Southern California group linked to the Mexican Mafia, and U.S. prison gang. They flaunt the blue bandanas associated with the Sureño gangs, while avoiding the red clothing of the rival norteños from Northern California. Gang members adopt the Cholo dress code of shaved heads and baggy tees. They wear tattoos of the number 13 representing 13th letter of the alphabet, the letter M for La Mexican Mafia. In Ablatos, gang affiliation does not historically imply links to the cartels. Groups such as Florencia 13 are more interested in a shared identity wound up with their specific territory. They gather at night on their designated corners and defend their neighborhood from unwanted intruders, including rival gangs and the police. In fact, Vizcar said many locals feel the gang provides protection from criminals. And it's kind of the same shit like with the cartels, man. Same shit. And, they feel that protection. They feel, they are protected in a sense because, they got they can't count on the police. So they count on the neighborhood gangs to protect them. Florencia 13 garnered media attention after the U.S. rap label Circuito Asino signed Mr. Yosie Lokote, releasing his first album, Trece Reglas del Barrio, 13 Hood Rules. In 2020, the record offers a vivid portrait of gang life, set to the dark beats influenced by West Coast G-Funk. But despite his growing profile, Mr. Yosie Lokote stayed in Ablotes, yeah, my bad. He was a regular on the streets corner, even as the predatory newcomers eyed his territory with interest. So he was known on, kicking it in his barrio. Gang culture in Mexico has transformed after the rise of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. In the early 2010s, the ferocious group came to dominance amid a shocking wave of violence in Jalisco. The cartel was behind massacres, deadly ambushes of security forces, and a rocket launcher attack on military helicopters. In 2015, a battle for control of the streets is raging. Vizcarra said, it is not just between gangs and police. Today there is a third actor, organized crime. Excuse me. In Guadalajara, the sprawling syndicate is battling Nueva Plaza, a splinter group headed by Carlos Enrique Sanchez, alias Cholo. As the turf war rages, homicides have soared. Jalisco record 2,420 killings last year, more than 5 times the number for 2008. Damn, that's a lot in 1 year. And just for that little, I mean, it's not little, but considering, for that little area right there, fuck, Holmes, that's a lot. Mr. Yosie Lokote was one of the highest profile casualties of this conflict in Guadalajara. The rapper vanished from the Ablatos market on April 17th last year. His butchered corpse surfaced 2 days later under a threatening message. So what I'm gathering here is they snatched his ass up and dumped his body 2 days later, so it didn't, and they butchered him, and so it didn't go down like people are portraying, and they show it on these little YouTube things where they're having a shootout in his barrio. His butchered corpse surfaced 2 days later under a threatening message scrawled on a white card. This is going to happen to all those who keep supporting Cholo, the note began, essentially accusing him of an alignment with the principal rival of the CJNG, the Guadalajara area. However, little concrete evidence of such an association exists, and while fans demand justice, no one has been charged with the crime. And obviously, I mean, a lot of people know that over there it's hit and run, and you can get away. That's just the way it is over there, and that's why I say, please check out my video, Cartel versus Cholos. A lot of good points are made. While the murder of Mr. Yosie Lokote sparked domestic media interest, it was nothing compared to the storm of global attention that stared the following week. On April 22nd last year, police arrested two men, including QBA, in connection to the kidnapping and murder of three film students. Authorities said the recording artist had confessed to working for the CJNG, disposing of bodies in acid for 3,000 pesos, $160 a week. So $160 a week he was getting paid for disposing of bodies, which is quite a bit of money over there, considering you make $5 a day if you're lucky just with an average job. The film students Javier Salmon, 25, Daniel Diaz, and Marco Avilos, both 20, had been missing for more than a month, according to the prosecutors. CJNG operatives seized the trio in the Guadalajara suburb, perhaps mistaking them for rivals as they filmed a school project at a house tied to Nueva Plaza. The disappearance sparked nationwide protests and statements of outrage from Oscar-winning directors Alfonso Cuarón and Guillermo del Toro. Last December, the United Nations, instead, Mexican authorities keep searching for the students, and prosecutors reopen the case. Jalisco Attorney General Gerardo Activo Solis has said that despite his confession, QBA and the other suspects could eventually be released due to irregularities in the original investigation, though few specifics have been released to the public. Nevertheless, 5 people are behind bars for the crime. QBA sits in Guadalajara's Puente Grande prison, where he could face a maximum penalty of 140 years. And, like I said, man, I think they do it there's very little repercussions over there. The rapper was a rising star at the time of his arrest, registering up to 5 million YouTube views per video. But one friend who asked to remain anonymous said he earned little from music. The producers of his videos kept most of the proceeds from his work. Damn, that's messed up. With a young son to support, the rapper had spent years hustling as a tattoo artist on the side. So not only was this man tattooing, rapping, he was also dissolving bodies and stuff like that, due to the simple fact that he couldn't make it, and the people who were producing his music were also stealing his money. So, I mean, he had to resort to something. I'm not saying that I condone it. I'm not saying it was right, but it is what it is. His lifestyles contrast with his YouTube numbers. The friend said he wanted to do something with his life. Unfortunately, in that environment, it's difficult to keep things clear. A teenager, QBA would meet his own disband gang in Furnace 21 on the corner opposite his house, since forming on the fringes of Florencia Trese's territory a decade ago. QBA's gang had fought the older, more powerful crew. The rapper even fled for his life in 2015 and lived in a drug den in the suburbs. Man, that just goes to show how wild this shit, and they try to say that the gang culture ain't that bad over there. It sure does look like it to me. Over time, the influence of relativity began Mexican American gang culture has won while I'll spell this word out, NIHILISM, of the domestic drug war has taken hold. According to Vizcara, in Furnace 21 was an ARCHETYPAL, second generation, clica, loosely organized with a more individualistic ethos. Its members are also displayed a startling familiarity with violence, both inflicted and endured, unlike older gangs. In Furnace 21, affiliates claimed no alliance to the Mexican mafia, nor did they dress as cholos. Hard drug use and other factors separating the second generation gangs and rappers from the predecessors. While weed was the substance of choice for Mr. Yosie Lokote, QBA's lyrical celebrates industrial inhalants, crack, and above all crystal meth. So, I just wanted to give this little quick rundown about Mr. Yosie Lokote and shed a little bit of light on actually how he did pass. And so a lot of people have this misconception that he was actually killed in his neighborhood in a gun shootout, and maybe that is what happened, but he didn't get killed. Obviously, they snatched him up. He was gone for 2 days. They dismembered his body, and that's what it is. But with nothing, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Nothing but love and respect to everybody out there who's been supporting my channel, and I'm glad to be here dropping some new content. Make sure you guys go and check out my new game YouTube. It's called State to State Gamers. Make sure you drop a like, that subscribe button. Make sure you check out my merchandise link at the bottom, and make sure you guys click on that little bell so you guys get notified when I come on. Again, nothing but love and respect to everybody out there, and this is OG Gordo signing out. Gracias.